Stop letting society tell you about the best skincare routines, the hottest plastic surgeons, or the cream that will keep your skin from aging. It's time we start asking ourselves, what the fuck is beauty anyway? If we remove all the IG filters, is there more to a beautiful face than just skincare? Well, I'm here to share it with you, and hell yeah, there is. My name is Jen Carrasco. I have been an esthetician, as well as a high-level fitness competitor, and an all-around badass for over a decade. And I need you to know there is way more to keeping your mind and body clean than just a cream. Join me each week as I cut the BS out of getting healthy, caring for ourselves, and caring for our skin. I share real tips, real ingredients, and real experience. Now let's get some answers on what the fuck is beauty anyway. Hey beauties, it's Jen at Virago. So today I am going to dive in and jump in there and talk about anti-aging. So I'm going to give you some benefits to help you with your anti-aging regime. So honestly, there's not a miracle cream, a miracle serum, any of that. That's just going to miraculously transform your skin back to 10 years of being youthful. But I am definitely going to give you 100% knowledge of what you should be doing to help the aging process and to reverse the aging process. And unfortunately, it's a lot of things that people won't commit to. My skin is in fabulous condition, I feel. I do have some fine lines and wrinkles, but at 41, I think my skin condition actually looks really, really good, as well as keeping up my workouts and everything else that goes with anti-aging. But so research shows that a lot of times when we're overweight, we smoke, we eat poorly, our skin suffers because our internal inside suffers. When you're overweight, you're not eating properly, you're not eating nutritionally, therefore your skin cannot get the nutrients that it needs to have healthy skin tissue. Therefore, the same with smoking. If you're smoking a lot, the oxygen in your skin tissues don't absorb, your skin tissues do not absorb oxygen properly because it's blocked by the smoke or carcinogens that are on the surface of the skin. So a lot of times you may see people with more of a reddish color to their skin when they smoke, things like that. And it's because they have no oxygen to the cells of their skin. This is something that is really not beneficial by any means to keep up a good skincare routine. So I'm going to dive in a little bit later on skin products that we can be using, but right now I'm really going to dive in deep with more of your nutrition and supplements and your exercise. So with exercise, that really is going to give you your overall health and healthy skin. The reason behind that is because when you are getting vascular or when you're doing cardiovascular, anything like that, you're actually getting that blood flow going in your body. When you get that blood flow going in your body is able to absorb the nutrients better. So if you're feeding your body healthy foods, you're getting the nutrients into the cells properly, the cells are regenerating properly. It all works hand in hand. So it's not that you can just go and do a peel or you can use a product and your skin's going to change. It's really a whole lifestyle change if you want healthy, happy skin. So the next thing too is, of course, acne. When you're working out a lot, and you're sweating, you tend to produce a lot of, perspiration or sweat, and it can clog your pores. So you definitely need to make sure that you are really cleaning your skin, keeping it up, even after you sweat a lot. It's really important, especially the bra line, sports bra, the hat line, the sweat lines around your face. It's really important to be cleaning your skin right after, or even doing an antimicrobial spray. I know that we carry one in the Virago line. It's called the Hydro Balance, and it hydrates your skin, but it will actually kill any bacteria that's hitting that surface. So the next thing that I wanted to go into is older skin. So if we are not active, meaning we're not physical, we're not doing cardiovascular, we're not doing weight training, we're not getting that blood flow going in our body. Older skin and not being active, you tend to have a dull gray appearance on your skin. And you can come in for skin treatments, it will definitely brighten it. But if you don't, like I said, get that exercise, that cardiovascular, you're really defeating the purpose. So if you could do both of those as a little bit of a change, you're going to notice a huge improvement within your skin and body. So also with exercise, it helps with your lymphatic drainage. So when you get those lymph flow going, you're actually detoxing the body too of toxins that are getting stored up. So then that leads me into the next thing, which is water. So if you're detoxing your body because you're working out, but you're not drinking enough liquids, and meaning liquids, water, you are not flushing those toxins out. So those toxins can be stored up in your body and then released into your body, which then can perform acne, it could perform, hyperpigmentation, pigmentation issues. So it's all role reversal when it comes to eating unhealthy, doing those things. You really need to change your whole outlook in order to have healthy skin and to reverse the aging process. So diet. As we went into water, I'm going to go into diet. Diet is huge. The number one thing that we need to constrict our body of is dairy. Dairy definitely will actually increase the blood vessels in our bodies and tissues. So a lot of times, those nasty blood vessels that we have around like our nose area, our cheeks, even like in our legs, things like that. A lot of that has to do with definitely your genetics, definitely internal issues, but dairy is a huge contributor to it. So I'm sorry to say to all the cheese fans out there, this is definitely something that I really think that you guys need to give up. You need to set that back, refigure your diet. That way we can get some healthy skin. Another thing is also sodium. Sodium is going to swell the tissues and it's going to actually hinder your body from working properly. Now, people that are exercise fanatics like me and super healthy, it could be the opposite effect for us, that we're actually not getting enough sodium in our diet. So we want to be really at that peak level. But a lot of times people are eating a lot of preservative foods, a lot of foods that are stuck in your freezer for a long time or your refrigerator for a long time. And that has tons of preservatives, tons of sodium in it. Therefore, it is causing havoc to your body and causing inflammation. And inflammation is coming out into our skin and our tissues, which is actually aging you more. It's aging you rapidly. I don't know if this falls under your category or not, but I know a lot of times I look at girls that are actually in their 20s and I feel that my skin tissues, my body, just the way that the radiance of my skin looks younger than they are. And it's because a lot of their diet and what they're doing internally is just horrible. It's causing huge inflammation, and inflammation causes prone to diseases extremely quick, and therefore you're aging your body faster and you're actually probably 10 years ahead of what your normal age is. So with that going, I want to talk about what we can do to change diet. So to change diet to get a healthier complexion and to help with the anti-aging process, we really need to start adding in nutrients and vitamins in our body. So just like our skin, how I talk a lot about the retina hydrate, the vitamin A's, those are actually vitamin A, of course, which is a retina hydrate, which is retinol or different forms. That is amazing internally as well. We definitely need the vitamin A. We need our zinc, anything to cause the collagen renewal in our system. So green leafy vegetables have a huge amount of vitamin A. Also vitamin A, sweet potatoes. Now, when we look for zinc, it's really high in egg and egg whites. Also, vitamin C is extremely high in like bell peppers and green vegetables, and my favorite, coleslaw. So, I'm sorry, not coleslaw, sauerkraut. So those are things that you can gravitate towards, throw them in your salads, blend them up in a smoothie, whatever you want. Try to stick with things that are going to really give yourself those vitamins that you need internally, because you're going to notice that externally on your skin. So the next thing I did want to talk about is fatty acids. So good fats, meaning avocado, whole eggs, nuts and seeds, that is actually going to plump the tissues of your skin up. So what I mean by that is it increases the lipids in your skin so you don't get that water loss. Now, I'm not saying go on a binge and start eating nuts and fats and everything else, because that definitely will get you overweight. But start adding in nuts and seeds a little bit to like your salads. Have some almond butter, have some walnuts, have some avocado through the day. I always try to keep my fats at about 20% of my daily intake. The reason why is because that will make my skin plump. It will make it hydrated. It will make it look really just kind of like a baby. You know how a baby's just really nice and plump, and that's what the fatty acids do for us. It's extremely healthy for us. So I went over water, I went over nuts and seeds, I went over vitamins. A good way to check to see if your skin is dehydrated, it's called a pinch effect. So you can pinch your skin, and if your skin doesn't extremely bounce back the way it needs to, that means that you're actually dehydrated. So it definitely means that you really need to be consuming a lot more like water or ingredients that are going to hydrate the tissues of the skin. Also sleep is huge. So I know a lot of people only get like 6 hours of sleep, and if you feel like that's adequate enough for you, then that's great. If you need 8 hours, take your 8 hours. But the sleep time is actually the time that your skin can regenerate itself. That's when it's repairing your digestive system, your skeletal system, your muscular system, your organ renewal, and it actually does your skin as well. Our skin is the largest organ in our body or on our body, and it needs just enough time to heal as well. That's why a lot of times when you're sleep deprived, you look at, you feel it. It's under eye circles. It's all of that. It's really taking care of your skin. It's super beneficial to keep up your skin with the hydration, your food supplements, your sleep. Another great thing that I love, and I carry this at my shop for a lot of the people to buy, or a lot of my clientele to buy, is the red light. So it's nothing like you can go in and get a laser. The red light is awesome to be using at home because it does help with your collagen and elastin production at home. It's a fabulous product. Well, not product, but like gadget to have at home. I know that they do sell them at Sephora. I do have them online at it's virago.studio. I have that, but honestly, hands down, it is amazing product to have at home. So let's now go into actual products that help. So we are going to actually dive in right now to growth factors. So growth factors, you think of GH, right? You hear a lot of people say, I'm on GH. A lot of the pretty well-off people are on growth hormone a lot of times. And people think, okay, if I'm putting growth factors on my face, it's going to promote like skin cancer cells, overproductive of, moles or skin tags, things like that. Now, it totally makes sense if you're just using one growth factor. But a lot of the products that are out on the market they have multiple growth factors in there. Now, I want to stress to you to make sure that you're using a beneficial product, not just a product that says, yes, we have growth factors, that are actually not small enough molecules to actually penetrate the skin. If it's in a cream, if it's in a lotion, it's not going to work. It needs to be in a serum form, and it has to be applied first before anything else on the skin, or those growth factors will not penetrate into the surface of the skin. So growth factors come from underneath our tissues of our skin. Those are what's produced. They're like little baby stem cells down there with the growth factors and your fibroblasts, right? So it's being produced from underneath. But what these growth factors do when you put them on topically is they actually help to produce more into the tissues. Because as we get older, our growth factors start to decrease. So we start the aging process. That's why it's really beneficial to get on a really great growth factor serum at home. The next thing I recommend are antioxidants and peptides. Be very wise about what products you're using and if the peptides are in a good form, and then the same with the antioxidants. So sometimes it can be an overzealous product and it's actually not going to benefit you, and it's actually going to start the aging process more. So if you guys ever need help or questions, always DM me. I can totally help you with it. Super easy. So the next thing I did want to go over is HA, which is called hyaluronic acid. So your body has to make hyaluronic acid. That is why a lot of people come in for skin treatments, because what that does is it gets your body to produce those collagen, the elastin, the hyaluronic. It has to be penetrated into the skin. Now, hyaluronic acid is amazing for the tissues of the skin, but you want to be careful. You can't just go and buy a serum. You need to do your knowledge and your research to make sure that that acid form, the molecule, is small enough to penetrate through the skin cells, because hyaluronic acid molecules are actually really big. So a lot of times they're necessarily not going to fully penetrate into the skin. So that's why a lot of people do the injections, because the injections are hyaluronic acid injections into the skin, like the lip area, any area like that. So you really have to induce the skin to get the HA, or like I say, the hyaluronic acid, because the molecule's too big. So a good thing is like peels, facial treatments, those tend to induce the hyaluronic acid, and it helps with your collagen and your elastin production. So the next thing I really want to jump into is sunscreen. Now, sunscreen, you go to the grocery store or wherever, and they say, oh yes, I have sunscreen, 25, 50, blah, blah, blah. Now, sunscreen stops at a 25. I think it's a 25 or a 15. Anyway, it's one of those two. It doesn't go more than that. So if you find something that's like a 50 or 100, just know that it means that there's more chemical in the product to stick into the skin, okay? Does not mean that that is healthy whatsoever. And then also, when you're looking for a sunscreen, you need to make sure it has a UVA protection. UVA protection with a titanium or a zinc over 5%. One of those have to be over 5%. The reason why is if it has UVB, that's great. It's hitting some of those sun rays. It's helping you with getting a sunburn. But it's not helping you with UVA. UVA is actually what causes damage to the cell. It's what ages you. It causes your hyperpigmentation. It causes free radical damage, wrinkles, skin cancer. So also know that we get UVA radiation from our computers, from our phones, from our lights, anything. So if you're on your computer a lot, on the phone, any of that, you should be wearing protection 24/7. I don't even care if it's at nighttime and you're not in the sun, but you're dealing with a computer. You're still getting the UVA rays. A lot of people don't know that. So that is something I really want to push out there. That is really important for your skin in the anti-aging process. So another thing is moisture. Now, as you know, I don't believe in moisturizers and I don't believe in lotions for the skin. You can check in my last podcast if moisturizers are harming you for your skin. It will go into more detail the reason why I believe that. But I always say hydrators for your skin. So like I have a Hydro Balance spray or the growth factor spray, or I use the Derm Repair, or I have other things that hydrate the tissues without confusing the cells not to produce those stem cells and the growth factors and everything underneath the skin. But check out the last podcast I did on moisturizers. It's really super helpful. The next thing I really wanted to go over is like drugstores, Sephora, Nordstrom's, things like that. Now, I don't want people to think that when they go in there, they're getting beneficial products. And I don't mean that bad by any of the skincare lines out there, but they are not MD formulation, they're not clinical formulation, and they're not to where it's esthetician certified to use in our practices. So those products that you are going to purchase are only going to do temporary things to your skin. Meaning, if you put on a moisturizer that says they have hyaluronic acid in there, what you're doing is you're pretty much plumping up the tissue of the skin for the time being. The minute you wash it off, it's gone. It's not working. It is not going to penetrate the skin deep enough to ever do anything to help your skin at all. You are wasting your money. I say this because I do not want to see you guys spend $300 or $400 on a moisturizer and a cream when it's typical BS. I say this with love. I'm sorry if anybody's going to get offended, but the products don't work. They're literally a temporary plumping agent. That is all. And be careful. Check out my last podcast on moisturizers because be careful because it can inhibit your skin and actually start the aging process more because your skin cells can't work together. So therefore you're actually hindering or you're actually making your aging process worse than hindering it, if that makes sense. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of this today. I know it was a lot of information kind of just thrown at you, but this is definitely, I think, a conversation that I was really excited to talk about. I did a live Facebook feed and really dove in deep with that, and I got like phenomenal feedback from it. So I really encourage you guys to check out my Facebook, check out my Instagram, DM me for anything that you need help with or any questions you have. I'm here. But with that said, make it a fabulous day, you guys, and stay tuned until the next podcast. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope you feel more empowered and more inspired to love the skin you're in. As we navigate new society norms and beauty daily, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on my guests at ViragoStudio.com. Yes, I said it, ViragoStudio.com. And that's the shit. See you on the next episode, beauties.